I cannot tell you how many times I've got that phone call from the buyer. They've been looking for houses for a very long time, and they finally went under contract, and they call me and they're so excited, but I can literally hear their face. And it's that deer caught in headlights look, because they finally got somebody to say yes and they just don't know what happens next. So let's talk about what happens next as a buyer once you have a contract signed and ratified by all parties. First, your realtor and you will probably get an inspector to go out to the property and look for some things that maybe aren't surface level, to really find out if there's any underlying conditions that, one, need a request to be fixed, or maybe it's something that makes you not want to go forward with the contract. So if you have got a contingency for an inspection, that's probably what's going to happen next. At the same time, you're probably going to be calling me and saying, hey, what do I need to do now for my mortgage now that I've actually found a contract? And you're going to work with your lender on locking in your interest rate, cleaning up any documentation that we need to get you in for what we call a clear to close. And then after the inspection is good, we typically get the appraisal ordered, we get your title work ordered, and we get all of those things back in. Now, as a buyer, you need to go and pick some homeowners insurance. Most lenders will be glad to get you a couple of quotes, but at the end of the day, it's up to you who you would like to use for your homeowners insurance. So you'll be getting that done. So while all these things are getting done, you're getting your last documents, we're getting appraisal, we're getting title work, you're getting homeowners insurance. We get all of these things done so that we're all working towards that date. So your contract will have an estimated closing date or an expected closing date, and we're all working towards that date, unless we change it upwards or backwards depending on the circumstances. But basically that's what happens. So you lock in your interest rate, you get with your lender, find out what documents you need, you get an inspection ordered, make sure that that inspection is good. If the inspection comes back with some issues that you're not comfortable with, or you want to negotiate for the seller to make some repairs, then your realtor and you will stop at that point, and that's another negotiation point. So that's where you go back to the sellers and you try to negotiate whatever it is that needs to be fixed. If the appraisal comes in low, then that's another point that is a negotiation point. As long as your contract had an appraisal contingency, then you are going to be negotiating at that point again. So every time one of those contingency spots happens, that's a point where you can negotiate for that contingency. But other than that, if everything goes smoothly, inspection is done, appraisal is ordered and back, title is ordered, you go find homeowners insurance buyer, and then you basically get all the documentation in. And once everything is in, your lender goes in for a clear to close. And what that means, it's a realtor and a lender's favorite words. It means everything's good, we're on to closing, and now they're just going to work out those last number details and get everybody their final disclosures. Now, keep in mind, there are some compliance disclosures that you're going to get from your lender throughout this process. So make sure you call your lender and know what to expect when it comes to your disclosures. But that's really what happens from this point to this point is inspections, appraisals, title, homeowners insurance, clean up any documentation, get everything in and get it clear to close and go to closing. And then your lender and you will work out your closing numbers and your closing details, and then you'll own your home. That was a lot, but in a nutshell. All right, now if you are a real estate agent or a lender and you would like to use this content and just need a script to help with, please know that in the Recharging with Champions website, that is www.rechargingwithchampions, spell that whole thing out, .com, I do have the scripts. This is going to be in the September scripts. So go check it out and make your own content so that your social media channel will know what this is and what they can expect. I promise almost every single buyer, when they get a ratified contract, I don't care how many times they've bought. Well, maybe if they buy more than once a year. But most of the time they come to me with the deer in headlights like, oh my gosh, what's next? So they need to know. So share this on your own social media and go out there and be the guru. We'll see you next time.